Hey, what's up? Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to talk about how all of the pieces of Stripe Treasury, Stripe issuing fit together and how money sort of flows through those different accounts. So everyone, when they first sign up for a Stripe account, is going to have a Stripe payments balance. This bucket of money represents your Stripe payments balance, and you'll receive money through different payments, whether those are from payment links, payment element, subscriptions, invoices, whatever. All of those payments are going to end up in your payments balance, at least to start. Now, these might come from bank accounts or credit cards or other different payment method types. And in Stripe, when we tokenize a payment method, you will get one of these IDs that starts with PM underscore, and that represents a payment method that we're going to receive money from. All of this has been the same since 2019-ish or so. Before then, you would have seen cards or sources, but since 2019, it's only really made sense to actually use payment methods as the way that you receive money into your Stripe balance. Now, everyone wants to eventually get their money out of Stripe so that they can go spend it on things, and this is where we create another bucket of money or introduce another bucket of money, and this is your bank account. This is going to be your normal checking or savings account. This is where you are doing your daily banking. The way that money flows from your Stripe payments balance into this external account is through a payout. This is how things have been done for a long time, many years with Stripe. The way this payout worked was that we created a bank account, which was a way to receive money as a payout. But we talked to a lot of customers and they said that something that was very challenging was getting access to one of these bank accounts or creating one of these bank accounts. And so we created Stripe Treasury. With Stripe Treasury, we introduced this new bucket of money called a Stripe Financial Account. A Stripe Financial Account can have an account and routing number the same way that your typical bank account will. But instead of creating a bank account now for your external checking or savings account, we now create a bank account reference for your Stripe Financial Account so that it can receive payouts directly from your Stripe balance. Now your Stripe Financial Account can be your store of funds that flow directly from your Stripe balance into this financial account. What's beautiful about these financial accounts is you have programmatic access to all of your money. Let's talk about some of the benefits of having API access to a financial account where you can move money around. We can still move money out to our checking or savings external bank account with an outbound transfer. We can also move money into our financial account with an inbound transfer. Now, before, you could technically do this with a top-up by moving money from your external account into your Stripe payments balance, but instead, now you can just do this directly into your financial account. This is where it gets really interesting. You can also pay out a third-party bank account from your Stripe financial account. This is done with an outbound payment that you can create via the API. But that's not all. You can also connect an issued card directly to your Stripe financial account. That way, when you swipe the card later, those funds are deducted from your financial account. Each of these represents an issuing transaction, which you can authorize in real time with a webhook. And because a Stripe financial account has an account and routing number, money can also be pulled from the financial account by a third party via a received debit. This is when a third party might request funds from your financial account. Notice that I've marked this as yellow as the action for the received debit starts on the end of the third party. A received debit isn't something that you would create through the API. In this image alone, we have 4 ways that you can send money out: via an outbound payment, a received debit that was pushed from a third party, an outbound transfer, or with issuing transactions that happen through a card that was issued with Stripe issuing. In addition to received debits, you can also have received credits. This is when a third party is pushing funds into your Stripe financial account. So let's track a dollar as it runs through our new system. Let's say that we receive an ACH payment from a bank account. That'll land in our Stripe payments balance. Then we can have that money paid out into our financial account. From our financial account, we might decide to make an outbound transfer to our checking or savings account. Or we might want to just issue a credit card with a virtual card number that can be shared immediately or a physical card that's sent in the mail. Then that card can be used online or in person with a physical card to pay for goods. Alternatively, that money might flow directly to a third party. in order to pay off a mortgage or rent or some other bills that were related to the course of business. One common use case is store and send or bill pay, where you might move money from your checking or savings account into your financial account balance and then use that to pay out several different third parties. Note that one of the main differences in this new workflow is that your checking and savings account uses a payment method instead of a bank account object inside of the Stripe API. If you're paying close attention, that means that payment methods can now be both used as a way for money to flow in and also a way for money to flow out, because we are receiving money on this payment method now. One important distinction is that any time that you're sending money to yourself, that's called a transfer. Anything that is me to me is a transfer. That's because this is your checking or savings account. Notice that on the other side, if it's a third party, then what we're doing is we're making an outbound payment. So these are going to be payments the same way that the money that is received at the top, these are also called payments. So these are inbound payments, and below, these are outbound payments. Note that payouts, outbound transfers, inbound transfers, outbound payments are all objects that you can create through the Stripe API to move money. Received credit and received debit are two ways that transactions will show up in your financial account, but those were both pushed to you. All right, now you know all the different ways you can move money into and out of a financial account, all programmatically. Very, very awesome stuff. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.